Good morning. It's just 1 minute to 11. So we'll just see who's going to be joining us this morning. Had a lovely weekend with some nice sunshine, so a little bit cooler today at the minute. So, oh, Tony's there. Hello, Tony. Straight away. Just give it a couple of minutes just for people to join. So today's topic is going to be about shielding, or maybe at the end of shielding, end of July, sorry, coming out of shielding. Good morning, Shanti from Triscombe. That must be a nice little village. I'm in Watchet. It's a bit quiet, isn't it? Tony's been having a 5-minute break. Okay, I think we'll start, and then obviously I'm sure people will be joining us. So obviously 16 weeks ago, people that were in the vulnerable groups got a letter through the door to say that they were going to have to shield at home, which meant they couldn't go out, basically. And that happened in my household, because my husband has got an underlying health condition. He's not old, he's only 56. And yeah, he had to sort of cope with the fact of he's not going to be able to go out of the house, you know, which when you're a keen fisherman, that can be quite hard. So it was quite tough for us, but we got through it. We got through the 16 weeks. And obviously at the end of July, you do have the option of being able to go out again. And that's going to bring up a whole load of different emotions and anxiety. And it's going to be quite hard, I think, for some people. But people have been getting the government food boxes as well. If they've been relying on those, how are they going to feel when maybe they're not going to get that box anymore? So, which obviously we do have the food banks, and we want people to understand that, you know, it's going to be really difficult, but we're still here to support and help you and everything. So I've just got some couple of people from our village agents that actually have sent some information through that's personally happened to them, so a little bit like a case study. So I thought I'd just read a few to them. So one of them says that her sister's coming out of shielding. She didn't have the government box because obviously she was able to do her shopping for her. She lives alone and was fine for a couple of months with FaceTime to the rest of the family because she's on her own. But for the last month, she's really struggled, and she's almost in party mood at the thought of it coming to an end. She's arranged click and collect for her shopping at 6 a.m, is nervous about shopping, and she will maintain her own safety, and she has a face mask. She just wants to feel part of her community again and feel like life is happening again. She is grateful for the support she has had, but very glad and very ready for it to come to an end. So that's very much a positive. But for people that have been shielding, I talked to my husband about it. He hasn't been in a supermarket for 16 weeks. He doesn't know about masks, sanitizer, all the lines that are on the bottom of the floor, you know, telling you that it's a one-way system, the shields that are there at the till. So for him to actually walk into a supermarket, he's really anxious about that, which he's not going to do it. I'm going to do it. I've got my mask. I know you, as you go into the supermarket, the hand sanitizer is there. You sanitize your hands. Some people are wearing gloves, which I have done, but I advise you to only wear the gloves for the one shop that you go in. Don't go in one shop and then go and use your gloves in another shop, because you could be passing something on. So if you go to the one particular supermarket, and just pop in there using those gloves and dispose of them in an appropriate way when you come out again. Okay. Let's have a look at some other bits and pieces. There don't seem to be many people watching today. It's very quiet, isn't it, Tony? So this is another bit of a case study. So this is from another agent. Got a friend who's got 3 children, and they've been shielding. The husband's been shielding. They took the decision to keep their children at home, but their eldest is going to be going to secondary school in September. They've realised that this is a crucial time for him, so they've decided to get him back to school for the last couple of weeks of term to be with his friends and to start the transition process. This is causing huge anxiety for all of them, as particularly the younger children are terrified their brother will bring the virus back home and their daddy will become really poorly. My friend has been homeschooling while her husband has worked full-time from his home office and is worried about how the children will adjust to going out again. For them, it's not the financial impact so much, but the social and emotional aspects. And that's very true. I feel quite lucky that I don't have young children. My children are in their 20s now. I think for everybody that's been having to homeschool their children, the children have missed their friends, must have put enormous pressure on parents, and obviously the children not being able to see their grandchildren, see their grandparents. Life for the children has changed completely. I think you've just got to be really honest with your children. They are safe in their school. I think the schools have put everything in place to make sure that they're going to be okay. You just have to take the guidance of the school in the best way that you can. And also, make sure that you've got hand sanitizer, you're still using that. The virus has not gone away, it's still here. But we just have to put safety measures in place to keep ourselves and everybody else safe. So just talking about people wanting to come out of shielding at the end of the month, some people haven't been out for 16 weeks. Now, to suddenly think, I need to go and get some shopping because nobody can support me anymore, that's not the case, excuse me. So the support groups are still in place in Minehead. I'm going to get the number for you now. So this is the coronavirus support group, which will eventually be moulding into a Good Neighbours scheme. So, because we don't want to call it the coronavirus support group forever, do we? So this will be continuing, and like I say, we'll be then going into a Good Neighbours scheme. So if you're in the Minehead area and you're worried about anything, you can still get your shopping, people can still pick up your prescriptions for you, and what we're hoping to do is set up a buddy system. So you're feeling very worried about going out of your house and social distancing, we could have a volunteer buddy that could phone you, have a chat to you on the phone to get to know you, and what you would like to do. And it might be the fact that you just want to go to the co-op and just pick up some milk and bread and see what it feels like, okay? So rather than going on your own, this buddy can come with you to reassure you. And if it doesn't work out, and you're finding it all too much, that's fine. That buddy can walk you back home and you can try it again another day. It doesn't matter. There's no pressure. If you want to continue shielding, the support volunteers are still there, and that can continue for as long as is needed. There is no pressure, and we don't want to cause any more anxiety to anybody. So the Minehead volunteer group number is 07385 103187. I'll say that number again, 07385 103187. Tony, could you put that in the comments for me? Would that be okay? I've just realised I haven't scrolled down. There we go. There we go. All right. So hopefully Tony will be able to put that number in the comments for you. Okay. The Watch It support group, the phone line will be going dormant. Okay. But that doesn't stop the fact that Izzy, Sylvester and myself will be around. Our mobile numbers will be available. Also for anybody else in the other areas, Community Council in Somerset, if you ring our head office and explain what you need, then they will get in contact with an agent in your local area, so that village agents, community agents, carers agents, we're all out there and we're all here to support you in any shape that we can. We're not going anywhere. We're not stopping our services in any shape or form. We're here to help you the best that we can. Okay. So that's a bit about the buddy system. Also, if you'd like to talk to somebody, you have got Mind Line. Okay. This is available, so you can pick up the phone and you can talk to somebody and just explain how you're feeling, especially, you know, like you say, you've not been going out for 16 weeks. Things are different out there. In lockdown, obviously there was less cars on the road. It does seem that everything is back to normal from the traffic point of view. And also from the supermarket's point of view, don't go at the busiest times. You know, if you can go early in the morning or even later on, whatever's the best for you. But don't worry if you don't want to go out, you know, obviously when it's later on and you need a buddy, then we will organise that for you. We will make sure that you are not on your own. If you don't feel confident to go back out in this big bad world, whatever it is, you know, it's fine. It might be the fact that you feel that you want to go for a coffee, then that's fine. You know, if you want this buddy to take you to a nice cafe, Blenheim Gardens has opened their new, what do you call it? It's like their little, it's not a burger van, it's like their little, their trailer van, okay? So they're opening that up in Blenheim Gardens. So what a lovely place to go to be able to get a tea or a coffee or a little biscuit or, you know, just a little snack and be able to sit on the benches in Blenheim Gardens. That would be a lovely place, you know, to get a little bit, it's nice and quiet. Kiosk, thank you. Couldn't think what it was called, Tony. The kiosk in Blenheim Gardens. So yeah, you may find it a little bit too much going into a cafe because obviously it depends, you know, if you've been shielding. Whereas like the kiosk, it's out in Blenheim Gardens, beautiful day like today, and just sit there with your little buddy and just chat about how you've been feeling, you know, while you've been shielding for the last 16 weeks. It's not easy. So the other thing as well is you don't have to go to the shops if you don't want to. I've been really lucky. We were priority, and I would get a text from Iceland and Morrison's to have online orders. We really struggled, like everybody else did, to get an online order. I would go on, literally it said my slot was between 10 and 11 o'clock in the morning. There'd be no slots available. That's not the case now. I just go on whenever I feel that I need to do an online shop. I don't go on when I get my text. I've been very lucky that I seem to get the same regular slot each week. So it's been really good to be able to do my online shop. You can also do a click and collect if you felt that was easier. So you can literally, you know, do your order online and then you can go and pick it up from the supermarket. So you're not having to trail around Tesco's or Morrison's or anything like that. But actually, these delivery drivers, they're doing a cracking job. I gave mine a box of chocolates a couple of weeks ago because he's just so lovely. He comes to my gate, he has a quick chat to me. Hello, how are you today? You know, 5 o'clock on a Saturday night. And with Iceland, I've hardly ever had substitutes, to be honest. It's been brilliant. And obviously, lots of the other supermarkets are just as good. It's just Iceland suited me and my family, So yeah, just to say as well about the kiosk, if you go on Facebook on @gateway events, then you'll be able to see it on there, see what it looks like. And yeah, let's support this little kiosk, you know, and all the other little cafes and that in Minehead, you know, because they've had a tough time and they're now starting to open up. Unfortunately, you know, some businesses have had to close, which is really, really sad. And my heart goes out to them, to be honest. It really does. So, but yeah. Okay, so let's go to a couple more of, got another little case study here. My neighbours are shielding and have expressed that they feel like they have lost their confidence in shielding and are very worried about what the outside world is like now. I think it will be a challenge and a shock for people as things are very different with restrictions and face coverings. And I think that's one thing actually I found when I first started going out, seeing people with masks freaked me out. But actually, it's just the norm now, just to see somebody wearing a mask. And it's been really nice seeing people that have made these masks. My son is a really avid Star Wars fan, so I was able to, well, my friend managed to get a Star Wars mask for him, so that just made him feel more comfortable because it's like wearing his Star Wars t-shirt, he's wearing his Star Wars mask, you know, makes him feel okay. So, and like you say, the hand sanitizer is in my handbag now as if it's hand cream, so it's just the norm just to use it constantly, you know, it's just something that comes up. Let's have a look at this. So there's another one here that somebody's sent me in. It says, I've been talking to a client who is normally very active in his community. He has not seen anyone since lockdown started, not even for a distant cup of tea in the garden. His relative came and parked on the drive and spoke to him on the phone. I mentioned lockdown easing for shielders, but he's too afraid to go anywhere or see anyone. He makes and receives phone calls regularly, and that's all. The shielding letters telling people they are extremely clinically vulnerable has really scared some people. And that is true. You know, you get that letter through the door telling you that you've got to shield, and, you know, my husband read it and I read it. And it was even things down to the fact of using a different toilet. Oh, we've only got the one toilet. Using different towels, we do that anyway, so that's things that we could put in place. And there was a time during this that my husband actually, when he was shielding about 4 weeks in, actually became quite ill, and he had to have a COVID test even though he had been shielding for over a month. Luckily it came back negative, but that was really scary. He had to drive to Taunton by himself and literally sit in the car to be swabbed, which is horrendous. But like I say, it came back normal or negative, and we just don't know, do we? We just have to try our best, you know, just to get by each day. So Tony has very kindly put the coronavirus support group number on there, and also the email. And don't forget that the Minehead Coronavirus Support Group is also on Facebook. So go on there. You can message them on Facebook or email them or call them. You know, if you're having a down day, just pick up the phone and talk to somebody. Don't leave it till later in the day when you've just felt yourself going downhill. We're there. We're there at the end of a phone. Sometimes it's just to have a chat. You know, I spoke to a client, you know, through shielding, and all of a sudden it turned out that he didn't tell me until ages that he didn't have a kettle. I was like, what? You haven't had a kettle for like weeks. Why haven't you told me? And he just didn't think. Well, we can get a kettle. That's not a problem. We had another client who he didn't have a mobile phone. It had broken, but that was his only lifeline, was to be able to speak to me twice a week, and also other professionals that needed to get in touch with him. So it was vital that we got that mobile phone for him. So Tony's just saying, so Tony's coordinating the Minehead support group. along with her children, which make me laugh when we have our phone calls and they're in the background. Oh, it makes my day. It really does. So Tony's saying she's always happy to have a natter. So like you say, that number is there. Please, please don't be frightened of shielding, and or if you need to go out and you need that little buddy person to come with you, or think about what a lovely chance it would be to go and sit in Blenheim Gardens, or just lovely, or to sit down and watch it harbour on a bench, obviously social distancing, just with an ice cream, just to relax and talk about what it's felt like to be shielding for all those weeks. The buddy can come to your house and sit in the garden with you until you can build up some sort of relationship before you want to go out. That's absolutely fine. We all need to just take each day as it comes on how we're going to be feeling and what it's going to be like. Because this is going to be going on for a little while longer, I feel. But that's fine. We're just here to make sure that, you're all going to be okay. All right? So let's have a look at what else I've got. I've done that one. Yes, so this was... Yeah, this was another one that was sent in from one of our agents. So these two ladies were both very anxious about coming out of lockdown and said they will probably keep self-isolating for a long time yet. And that is absolutely fine. These support groups and we are there. So if they don't want to go out, that is absolutely fine. They couldn't understand how it could suddenly be safe for them to come out. Reassurances offered and advice is given on face coverings and hand sanitizers, which is what we've said. Wear your mask when you go out at all times. If it's a disposable mask, then obviously dispose of it in an appropriate manner. Please don't touch it with your fingers, just, that's obviously, And if it's a washable mask, then obviously, I would say probably every couple of days, depending on how long. They say if you've worn it for over 2 hours, then you need to wash it, okay? I would say try and put it in, a wash in your washing machine. I wouldn't hand wash it because I think it needs to be at a decent temperature to actually maybe get rid of anything that might actually be on the mask. So one client as well was struggling with getting online delivery slots and also feeling very lonely. She said she had a church group that often called for a chat, and she used to volunteer for Age UK, and she's really missed that. And I think that's the other thing, all the charity shops that we have, I used to go into the one in Willerton on a regular basis, usually on a weekly basis, to buy a couple of tops and things. And I think when they do start to open up again, that's another thing that we need to make sure that we support the charity shops as well, because all the charities, they're missing out on their donations, which is really, really sad. So there we go with that one. Let's have a look. Done that one. That one. No, I think I've got one more here, which was actually one of our agents. It's her mother-in-law. And she has an underlying lung condition and takes certain medications, so she's in the extremely clinically vulnerable group. She's actually an NHS nurse and she's been lucky enough to work from home. She was given a laptop to be able to complete care plans and patient assessments. The things that have impacted her on the most is not seeing her grown-up children, and especially her two granddaughters who are aged 7 and 4. The granddaughters think I'm the contagious ones because they know I have poorly lungs, which is why they think they can't see me in case they catch what I have. Bless them. She's very lucky to have a husband, so she's not alone. Shopping was a big problem to begin with, as I was unable to get an online slot, and then I started to receive the government food box. I didn't realise I would get this. And that's the same with me, actually. We didn't think that we'd be eligible, to be honest. I work full-time, so why would be eligible for a government box, And actually, I really liked it. It's been the highlight of my week. Friday morning, 7:30, knock at the door, what's in my box, or our box? And it's been great. There's been satsumas, apples, the bread, there's the soups. I've got so much soup: tomato soup, chicken soup, mushroom soup, so it's going to get us through the winter. Alan would get the Lynx shower gel, you know, which it was a real luxury for him to get that. You know, it was just like, it was really nice, because when you're staying in the house, you know, it's just, you know, what do you do with yourself? You know, you can only watch so much TV. Luckily, he likes the garden like me, so he's been keeping the hedges and the buddleias all trimmed. Well done. So, yeah, going back to this lady, this case study as well, these are a few changes that she's felt, okay? So, she went to the pharmacy last week after an appointment at the GP surgery. It was empty. I was overwhelmed with the changes. The visors, the staff were working. So yes, sometimes you will notice that some people will be wearing these plastic visors. So they come round here and then the plastic comes down like a shield. And also the plastic screens at the counters. So yes, in the supermarkets you will see that obviously people will have these screens by the tills to keep you safe, and also the tape on the floor that you need to adhere to. Stand behind the tape. Please try and use contactless. You know, I know it's not always easy, especially for some of our elderly clients that maybe just use cash, but contactless would be a lot easier. Okay. So this client also, she had to take her dog to the vets. She was poorly. And again, she was overwhelmed by the changes that have to be made since I was last there. That was the same. I didn't have to take my dogs to the vet, but I needed to order their flea treatment, which was really great what they did. So basically, I would phone the vets, and I would pay over the phone with my card number, and then I would then say, what time can I pick it up? They'd give me an allocated time. I would drive to the vets. I would stand 2 meters away from the door. They had a little plant pot there, so she put the medication down on the plant pot. I would pick it up and I could come home. That was really simple that they could do that. It was just really easy. I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel scared. My dogs are due to go for their jabs next month. Not so sure about that. They need to have their jabs. And one dog will probably not go through the door. But I'm just going to ring the vet up and I'm just going to speak to them, say how anxious I am about it, what's the best way that we can go around it. Does it the fact we do one dog in the boot and she comes out and literally does the jab and that's it? I can pay over the phone the same. I don't want to take my dogs into the vet, to be honest. It's a small vet. And like I say, I am anxious about that, but I'm just going to pick up the phone, speak to them and find out what the best solution is, because obviously my boys need to have their annual jabs. Okay, so just looking on there, just to say, obviously the government boxes are going to be stopping. We've all had a letter in our boxes, so they will be stopping on the end of July, so whatever day you have them delivered. But please, if you have been relying on these boxes, do not worry. There are food banks out there. We, as the Community Council in Somerset, have food coming in. We can make sure we can get meals to you, okay? So please do not worry about food. If you need any help, and just go to the Community Council in Somerset, give us a call with the number, and we will get you in touch with a village agent or a community agent or a carers agent in your local area to have a chat with you and talk to you to make things the best that we can for you, so that you're not worrying. Okay. I'm just reading what Hannah's put up there as well. So if you have Apple Pay, you can do larger transactions than contactless and avoid having to touch the keypad, which obviously is a really good idea. Good morning, Kim. Nice to see you. Well, not see you. Obviously, you can see me. I can't see you, but there you go. But it's nice, yeah. Nice that you've come on here. So there you go. So if you have been relying on food boxes, just contact us on 01 823 331 222. We will make sure you get food, whether it's meals. We've had meals coming in. We've been picking them up from Bridgewater. We've got a stash of food in our freezers and our fridges that we've managed to. We've changed the way that we work to make sure that it works for people in the community, and that's not going away. We're not going to stop getting this food. You know, while ever it's needed, we will make sure it's there for you. So just going back to another bit of a case study, this client was saying, I haven't had to join queues to get into shops or see what changes have had to be put in place. Even when I return to work, things are going to be very different from when I last stepped into the hospital. And that is the truth. People that do queue, I've noticed the farmhouse kitchen in Willerton, they're only allowing 3 people in the butcher's and the deli side of it, which works well. It's quite a big shop. But it's really interesting. You see the people that are actually outside the shop and they know to line up properly. And I know in the co-op, they're exactly the same. People are being really good. I just hope that people continue to be as good as what they are. You know, I'm still doing 2 meters distancing. I'm not doing 1. And that's my personal point of view. I still have to keep my husband safe, you know, and that's one thing that I need to do. So Chantel. Okay, Chantel. We'll make sure that I put you in touch with a village agent in the Glastonbury area. Okay, I'm going to make a note of that now for you. Okay, I'll just find a piece of paper. Chantel. And okay, Chantel, I'll make sure that a village agent can get in touch with you. If you want to private message on the Talking Cafe, not on the comments obviously, so that we've got a contact telephone number, and then we can get a village agent to call you so that they can help you out, okay? Because that's what we're here for. And nice to see you on here this morning. Nice to see you. So I think I've just got a few little bits left on the end of this one. So I haven't minded not leaving the house, this client says, as I have plenty to do here. But now shielding is easing, I'm allowed to start doing a bit more. I've noticed feelings that I didn't think I had before. And she is anxious about returning to work. She's also anxious about seeing family and friends in the garden. And I think this is the one thing that you need to consider when you're coming out of shielding. Be kind to yourself and to your family. Don't push it, all right? Don't expect to be able to get in your car, go to Tesco's in Minehead and do your shopping and maybe not feel so good. You know, that's not really the best thing, okay? So just be kind to yourself, take your time. The numbers are there, you know, the Community Council in Somerset, the Minehead Support Group. We're not going away. We're there now for forever, for whenever you need us, okay? So I'm going to say ta-ta for now. All right, it's been lovely to be with you this morning. And just be kind to yourself, all right? Take care, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye.